Hello, my name is Dr. Christopher Nagy. I'm the Superintendent of Schools for the Bergen County Institute of Technology and Bergen County Special Services School District. Today's Leadership Spark is entitled Leadership, the Past Primes the Future. Journalist Tom Brokaw was anchor and managing editor of NBC Nightly News for many years. In 2004, he set to turn over his anchor seat to NBC News anchor Brian Williams. Prior to his retirement, I had the distinct pleasure of reading a few of his books, one of which was The Greatest Generation. In November, my wife and I were invited to attend the National Press Club's 2003 Fourth Estate Award Dinner in Washington, D.C. for Lifetime Achievement in Journalism. The person to be recognized that night was none other than Tom Brokaw. I remember it was a snowy night and hard to find parking in the neighborhood around the press club in Washington, D.C. We entered the hall to see the names of those who had made the news over the years. Running late, we rushed into the elevator, and close behind us was a very pleasant and friendly man. We exchanged weather comments, entered the elevator, and agreed to go to the same floor. The man in the elevator then asked if we were going to the press dinner. I said yes, as I've read many of Tom Brokaw's books, to which he said, as well, he has done the same, and wished us a great evening. A few minutes later, that same man was providing one of the roasts on behalf of his friend Tom Brokaw. Here we were in the elevator with Bob Schieffer, CBS News anchor. One after one, invited guests approached the stage to pay tribute to an articulate historian who had a particular knack to dissect and parse the English language, and who provided a glimpse to the power of that greatest generation in the time of World War II, that generation responsible for setting a growth path for the U.S. built on sacrifice, honor, dedication, hard work, and industrial might, with an eye on prosperity for generations to come. Even today, we look at that generation and feel grateful for their pioneering efforts, and are reminded that success is not passed along, but earned with sweat, determination, and hard work. This year, I was introduced to the literary work of Anthony Powell, whose 12-volume epic work entitled A Dance to the Music of Time is considered to be one of the most read on everyone's bucket list, which is a focus on life's journey. The series takes its name from the 17th century painting by the French artist Nicolas Poussin, which personifies the four seasons as nymphs dancing in a circle while a winged Father Time plays for them on the harp. Anthony tells a story of 60 years plus through the narrator Nick Jenkins. If we were able to look at our own lives as a symphony with four movements, what would be your four pivotal moments of your life, and what would define them? For Powell, it was his university, military service in the World War, marriage, and a career as a writer while entering into old age. Reflecting on the journey allows us to simplify the path we have taken over the years, while seeing what is yet to be done. Recently, when watching the Rachel Ray show during a holiday break, yes, I like cooking, I was fascinated to listen to one of her guests, Questlove, the iconic Grammy Award winner and member of the Roots band that plays on the Jimmy Fallon Show. He's also a producer, designer, culinary entrepreneur, and professor. He published a book this past year entitled Creative Quest, which talks about his journey in life as an artist who looked to demonstrate his creativity, of which there was no limit. He pushed the limits of his abilities and still is. Akin to the greatest generation, he sought an answer to the following question: how do you come up with ideas that make you a better and more confident person in your everyday life? He managed to meld the creative with the professional world, and in doing so discovered the power of his creativity across various roles and movements in his life. Scottish theologian and philosopher John Macquarie once talked about man's journey as a process of becoming. What one would become would only be known after making the journey through life, having the ability to look back and to see how far one has traveled. We are all in a process of becoming. We are in the midst of our symphony, the movements only known to us. All of this leads us to an appreciation that life is like a blank tapestry. It is also like a book with many chapters, where the best chapters of our lives are yet to be written. And who could forget the blunt words of Charlie Brown when he said that in the book of life, the answers are not in the back. The answers lie within the journey. As a student in Italy, I was introduced to an Italian tradition. My family in Milan often entertained guests and relatives from around the world. When new friends or guests came to dinner, they were given a pen. Yes, they were given a pen and asked after dinner to sign the tablecloth. Those names on the table were then embroidered. Those signatures reflected an artifact of that night, a moment in time, a celebration of the past, and served as a way to cherish friends and family, good conversations, and memories, as if to freeze time with a simple signature. If you were to see the tablecloth with all of the embroidered signatures, you would agree that it was an amazing piece of art, and that the signatures, much like those of the greatest generation, personified life's journey by which we were impacted in some special and unique way. I guess William Barclay was right when he noted that there are two great days in one's life, when one is born, and the other when we discover why. In Brokaw's book, The Greatest Generation, he is quoted as saying, "It is easy to make a buck, but a lot tougher to make a difference." As we play the symphony of our own lives, I ask the proverbial question as to which movement in life's musical composition did or is making the biggest impact on others. Here I'm reminded of Nelson Mandela, whose quote can never be forgotten, when he said that the true meaning in life is to plant trees under whose shade you do not expect to sit. When we look at where we are as an educator, a businessman or woman, we have to take the time to appreciate and respect the past, to create and inform a future, the benefits of which may not be truly realized until the next generation. As professionals, we are in a process of becoming and to look at our past to assist us to make a difference with those with whom we encounter along life's journey, which truly is a dance in a moment of time. That is the impact and significance of a teacher and a leader, whose memory of which lives for many generations. Only time will indicate the impact that we will have had on the newest generation. Inspire on and be that creative music others need to hear.